Joining us today is Arthur Dixon AM, independent consultant. He'll be speaking at IIR's SEAAOC, Southeast Asia Australia Offshore Conference 2010, on the 22nd to 24th of September in Darwin. Hello Arthur, thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Firstly, why has Australia been so proactive in developing its LNG industry?
I think there's a combination of the discovery of resources, and when you look back to the beginning of the LNG industry back in the late 60s and early 70s, there's been an enormous amount of discovery of additional gas fields, and Australia has been well placed for its reliability aspects, its stability aspects, its security aspects to supply the markets of particularly around Asia, Japan, Korea, with a reliable source of energy, and it's just been a perfect fit, really.
How do LNG pricing concepts vary between Asia-Pacific, Europe and the US, and are these likely to change in the foreseeable future, do you think?
There are differences, and there are people who think that they will change. My personal view is that it is not likely to change in the near future in a dramatic and comprehensive way. In the US, it's always been gas-to-gas competition with people who are producing gas, sell it to whoever they can at whatever price they can get. In Europe, gas has typically competed with oil products and has been typically priced to be competitive with a basket of oil products, usually at the bottom end of the oil barrel, the sort of fuel oil end of the thing. However, in Asia, gas initially replaced crude oil as a fuel in power generation as an under-boiler fuel, and has typically been priced off crude oil. Not originally. Originally there were fixed prices and other formulae, but today in Asia, nearly all LNG prices are levered off a crude oil price according to a formula, which means that the LNG price changes each month depending on what the average price of crude oil is in that month, or some rolling average of months.
You're running a workshop at IIR's SEAAOC Conference 2010, 22nd to 24th of September in Darwin. What will you be addressing in the workshop?
The LNG industry is rather fascinating, and it is unlike many others because, in a sense, it's merely a form of moving gas from a difficult location to a remote market. And one might consider that in normal circumstances you'd build a pipeline. In circumstances where LNG is required or is competitive, it becomes a kind of flexible pipeline. But it's a connected industry. You can't really store it for much. So there are tanks that you can store LNG in, but it's a very limited quantity. They're very expensive tanks because LNG is at minus 160 degrees centigrade. It is not under pressure, but it does require very specialized equipment. So I think anybody who's involved in the industry, it benefits from having an awareness of the whole, what is called the chain, the LNG chain, from production to final consumption. I like to think of it that it's only where a flame is eventually lit, whether it's a residence in Japan or whether it's a power station in Korea or whatever it may be, it's only there where the flame is actually lit that somebody actually pays money. And then that money sort of cascades all the way back to the distributor, to the shipper, to the liquefier, to the producer. And it's only by understanding all of that, or having an understanding of all of that, that any player in the business can benefit from it. So my workshop is really, I call it an executive summary of the LNG business, and that's sort of what it is. If you're interested in the business, if you're attached to it, whether you're a contractor, a financier, a banker, a manager, I would like to think that you would benefit by coming and getting an overview of the whole business.
How will attendees benefit from taking part in the workshop?
By having a more comprehensive understanding of what is involved and therefore where the risks and the opportunities lie. I divide the workshop up into basically two sections, and I call the first section the facts, as it were, the sort of physical stuff that you need, an awareness of the basic processes, of the sort of things that, the sort of tanks that are required, the sort of ships that are required, and the issues around those sort of things. And then the second half, it's more the commercial issues, how these things are linked commercially, and what are the issues, the commercial issues. I put this course together as a result of my own experience, as a manager, it's not a deeply technical course. It's not a deeply financial course, but it tries to pull together all the things that I think I learned over my many years of association with LNG, more from a managerial and commercial level. Though being originally a chemical engineer, I try hard to understand the technical side as well.
Arthur Dixon, many thanks for your time.
Okay, James. Thanks very much.